let's ask about the beast. Maybe they will give me some information. The farmers mutter among themselves. None of us have seen it for ourselves. One of the women answers. But the Baroness, she took a look at the wounds that Fing cut in the jaw of the miller. She said the cuts were too deep for anything but a Razerclaw. The others around the speaker nod solemnly. It seems the Baroness' expertise carries a lot of weight around these parts when it comes to monster attacks. Interesting, so nobody actually saw it, they just presume it's the Razerclaw. The farmers slowly disperse to let you pass. Some still seem to be in a state of shock. You can understand why. It cannot be easy having their livelihoods taken away from them by a sudden disaster. Still, one of them is able to give you directions to the site of the last attack, where she hopes a group of desperate holdouts still live. What now? Let's request the audience with the Baroness. It's easy enough to gain access to the Great Hall in the Western Tower where the Baroness holds court. During the night, word spread of your coming, and the guards outside the door recognize you on sight. When you ask for an audience, your request is almost immediately granted. The Baroness holds court in a smallish stone hall, its walls alight with torches to ward off the early morning darkness. On one side stands a thin, crouch-backed man in a fur-trimmed robe dyed an unsightly yellow. On the other is a tall, muscular, Coriolandian woman in the well-made clothes of a crafter and the heavy leather apron of a blacksmith. The Baroness herself has aged gracefully, her figure wiry rather than slim, and her strong-featured face marred by a long, silvery scar down the right side of her straight nose. You are the adventurer from Kendrickstone, the one that my daughter, the one in my daughter's service, are you not? Zygmunt, was it? You nod. The Baroness offers a slight smile, but whether at your presence or your discomfiture, you cannot tell. So you have come to rid us of this beast in my holdings? You nod again. You've never been in the presence of someone as important as the Baroness before, but common sense all but screams to simply keep your mouth shut unless prompted to speak. The Baroness leans forward, one hand gripping the dark wood of her chair. Very well then, surely you have not come merely for courtesy's sake. You must have some questions for me. So, we can ask her, are you sure the beast is Razerclaw? How should I fight a Razerclaw? Why not use your own troops to hunt down the beast? I don't suppose you can offer any aid. Is it true that you were once an adventurer? No questions, my lady. Let's start by, are you sure that it is a Razerclaw? The Baroness does not hesitate. I am. I saw the aftermath of one of its attacks. One of my farmers torn open like a sack of wheat, split from collarbone to waist. Holy shit. The proud noblewoman matches your gaze, her expression intent and determined. I know of only two such creatures that could do such a thing. Okay, so I read it right. One is a steel fang, which only lives in Coriolandis. The other is a Razerclaw. Steel fang. Interesting. How should I fight a Razerclaw? Personally, I would brace myself behind my shield, let it charge me, and then stab it with my spear, deep enough to pierce its heart, the Baroness muses. But I see you have neither shield nor spear. In that case, I suggest you either fight from a distance or with great care. Both approaches have their problems. The silver-haired woman raises one hand, as if to physically present her point. On one hand, Razerclaw is a swift beast, with very good reflexes. There's a very good chance the beast could dodge a sling stone or an arrow. Okay, now I'm starting to regret that we didn't get that sling, but I was, my original idea was to get both. Too bad I can't. And I actually see no reason why we couldn't, but never mind. The Baroness brings up her other hand. However, fighting up close requires you to move with utmost care and alacrity. Razerclaw can tear through the heaviest armor with ease. A single mistake could mean death. So an attack from distance and Razerclaw will dodge. An attack from up close and you are one mistake from death. Encouraging. Let's ask about any aid. I'm offering you information and free access to my lands, the nobleman replies. Isn't that enough? I was hoping for more weapons and equipment, you respond, perhaps a little too petulantly. Yeah, a shield would be great, The Baroness gives you a look of reproach. In my day, when we were offered a job, we were expected to have the necessary equipment. We certainly did not ask those hiring us for handouts. She meets your gaze levelly. Prove yourself by killing the beast, and you gain access to the contents of my armory and treasury. This one might be a bit too cheeky, but let's do it. The Baroness grits her teeth and looks away for a moment. Son Mercy has only so many fighting men and women to spare, she says, quickly, guiltily. The fortress must be manned, and other villages must be defended, lest the Razerclaw begins attacking farther afield. Her expression is pained as she forces herself to meet your gaze. It is not ideal, but I have a responsibility to protect as many of my people as possible. My troops must meet that first responsibility, and I fear that it does not leave me with the soldiers I need for more permanent solution. You nod sympathetically. The Baroness' burdens are heavy enough without you adding to them with unwarranted criticism. Let's ask her about adventuring. The Baroness responds with a lilting? I don't know what lilting means, laugh. Yes, I was, a long time ago. She sighs wistfully, and seems to drift into memories for a moment. I fought alongside Duke Leofric of Kendrickstone. I suppose you'd known him as, in the Iron Marches, we had repudiated our family's fortunes and went off into the wilds seeking fame and fortune. The old noblewoman smiles. We made quite a name for ourselves, I with my spear and he with his sword. There were others too. We saved villages from raiders, cleared caves full of dark monsters, and even slew a dragon once. A small one, mind you. She sighs. Then Leofric's father died, and he had to return home to settle down, get married, and rule Kendrickstone. This was all years before he lost his arm to the damned assassin. Oh, he doesn't have an arm! I didn't know that. He gave me Son of Mercy as a retirement gift. I have settled down, I suppose, and raised that whip-tongued young Spitfire who sent you here. No questions, my lady. The Baroness nods, focus coming to her eyes. Very good. If there is nothing else, I shall expect you to make haste to where the Razerclaw last attacked. She rattles off a list of directions that are simple enough to follow. There you may find some help. A few damned fools decided to stay behind and try to fight off the monster themselves. They may be of assistance, but I'd rather you not risk their lives without reason. You nod back and leave the hall, the Baroness' instructions fresh in your mind. Where to now? And go after the Razerclaw. Well, interestingly enough, I still think she's a bitch for not giving us at least a shield. I'm also quite alarmed by the fact that our own dame didn't give us a shield. What the hell? But, okay, I guess this is our test. So, but you know, if you send someone off to do something for you, you give him a shield. I never heard... Not once in the adventures that I hold as a dungeon master was I like, okay, go make this. Oh, no weapons, you don't need that. So we are now a Zygmunt, a young man of Kendrickstone. We have quite good stats, so hopefully that's gonna prove useful. You carry with you an arming sword and have no ranged weapons. You wear a thick vest of quilted cotton. I don't think that's gonna be much use against the Razerclaw, but okay. It's better than nothing, I guess. So let's go after the Razerclaw. You decide to head into the countryside in search of the Razerclaw. Following your instructions, you walk down a narrow dirt path, barely large enough for an ox cart to roll across. The ground here is raw and newly cleared. Stumps still litter the fields, and the clusters of houses you see seem rough, almost unfinished. The outbuildings, stables, feed pens, and barns, common in more settled country, are absent. This is land newly tamed, and it shows. The few people you encounter are mostly farmers, and you can sense their fear. Some look over their shoulder as they work their fields. Others stand, watch nervously, pitchforks and staves in hand. Still others stay conspicuously close to the soldiers patrolling the outskirts of their settlements. Then, maybe an hour after noon, you pass the last nervous pair of settlers and cross into a land without people. The fields here are deserted. The buildings, as rough as they are, seem even more incomplete, without men and women and children around them. Finally, you come to a clutch of huts and cottages at the end of the dirt path. It is only when you get close that you see the crouched shapes in the shadows. "Hold!" a voice shouts forcefully, trying to hide the quaver of nerves. The shadows shift. A figure appears from the cluster of houses, and then another, and then another. Soon there are half a dozen wearing heavy woolen cloaks over their yeoman's garb, weapons at the ready. Weapons? Now that you look closely, you can see these farmers' primitive arms for what they are. Belt knives tied to staves, fist-sized axes suitable for chopping wood, makeshift pole arms made from scythe blades and pruning hooks. They are the weapons of a desperate militia, not a true fighting force. The woman who first called to you, tall, straight-backed, and golden-haired, approaches you. "What's your business here?" she demands, her hands conspicuously straying to the hatchet at her belt. "I'm an adventurer from Kendrickstone," you reply. "The baroness sent me here to deal with the Razerclaw." The woman gives you a defiant look and replies as if your very presence insults her. "Well, go back and tell her ladyship that we can deal with the Razerclaw ourselves. We can defend our homes just fine." One of the men in front of you shakes his head. He has the same features as the woman, though he is stockier. "Hold a moment, Maud," he interjects. "Oh, so this is Maud. This one looks like a fighter. Are you a fighter?" You nod. "I squire for Dame Mildred, the Baroness' daughter." The man's face splits into a huge grin, and he claps his hands together. "Well, anyone good enough to fight for the Baroness' daughter is good enough to fight with us." The woman sighs. "Very well. My name is Maud, and this is my brother Stephen. We plan to fight the Razerclaw should it attack tonight. Will you fight with us?" Okay, so we can ask them, "What's your plan? Why do you think the beast will attack tonight? I'll fight with you, or I'd rather hunt the Razerclaw myself." Let's ask about the plan. "Our plan is simple," Maud replies. "First we'll tie up one of our sheep between two cottages, and then we'll hide until nightfall. When the Razerclaw sees the sheep, it will go for it, and then," Maud smacks a closed fist into an open palm, "we'll jump it. We'll keep it occupied while my brother spears it." Stephen smiles as he hefts his weapon, an ash-hafted spear, the only proper weapon in the lot. "I can do it. I spent 6 years in the Baroness' retinue, and I know how to use this," he says confidently. "That thing comes out, and I'll stick the point right into its belly. He won't like it up in him, he won't." The others within earshot cheer. You wonder if any of them will be cheering once they're face to face with a snarling beast 4 times their size. The farmers around you are queer and not fighters. Some hold their improvised weapons like the farming implements they once were. When the time comes, will they hold? These people might not stand much of a chance without your help. Then again, you might not stand much of a chance against the Razerclaw by yourself without theirs. "So will you fight with us?" Maud asks again. "Why do you think the beast will attack tonight?" "It's attacked every night," Stephen replies. "Sometimes it's just a sheep or a cow. Other times it's one of us. It has been like this every night." You nod. "Including last night?" you ask. Stephen nods, expression pained, and replies with an obvious reluctance. "Aye, it attacked last night." He looks away for a moment. We hid. It killed a cow." "We were unprepared last night," Maud interjects. "This time we'll make the bastard bleed for each life it has taken. We've got a plan, but we can use another fighter to help us. Will you fight with us? Yay or nay?" "Well, I'll fight with them, but I have the feeling that I fight the beast alone without them either way." Maud and Stephen break out in a broad grin after you answer. The others cheer. "So you shall," Stephen exclaims and pats you on the back. "Now let's find you a hiding place and get set up." My idea about this is that the fucking Razerclaw thing shows up, and there will be 3 of us. Maud, me, and Stephen, and at least 2 of us will get killed. I'm pretty sure about that. Maud and Stephen spends the next few hours setting up the trap. A sheep is brought out and tied to a stake set in the center of the hamlet. You remember the Baroness's advice about attacking the beast at range. When you tell the farmers about this, one brings back an old bow, which he assures you wasn't ever used for poaching. Okay, I guess I'll believe him. Maud quickly places him on the, what's that, thatched roof of one of the cottages. The farmers find you a hiding place for when darkness falls and the Razerclaw is likely to strike. So we don't get the bow, someone else does. Kinda sucks. Yeah, no ranged weapons. Until then, the farmers share their simple food with you and wait nervously for the sun to drop below the horizon. You eat your bread and cheese in trepidation as the sky darkens and the day begins to end. Finally, Maud gives you the order to go to your positions. You go to the hiding place the farmers show you and you settle in, weapon at the ready as night falls. You wait. God, here it comes. You stay still as the sun sinks underneath the horizon. The air grows chilly, and the stars reveal themselves in the night sky. It is difficult to see anything. No torches give away your position, but the nights near total darkness mean it's almost impossible to see anything beyond arm's reach. The only evidence you have that your compatriots have not fled are the quiet, shallow sounds of their breathing, barely noticeable among the ambient sounds of the night. Then, there is a sudden sound of rustling leaves from the forest. You grip your weapon tighter as you feel your heart begin to pound. Your quarry is close, you can feel it. A new sound grows louder and louder, the rapid beating of heavy feet against the ground. Then there is a low growl, and before you know it, you see the Razerclaw, a beast the size of a warhorse, its spines glistening in the faint starlight as it leaps into the center of the settlement. The sheep goes down with little more than a loud, strangled bleat as the powerful, muscled beast tears into it with its claws. Now! The farmers burst into action. An arrow buries itself deep into the beast's flank. From one side, Maud charges in, a cry of rage on her lips, and her hatchets raised high above her head. From the other, Stephen rushes forward, spear held low and at the ready. More dark shapes join them, their makeshift weapons in hand. Will you join them? Yes, I'll charge in with my weapon too. Or no, I'll keep in the shadow and look for a way to strike a killing blow. No, it's best if I attack from range. No, I'll hang back and blast the beast with magic. Okay, now I wish I went with a wizard. Because that would be much better. Well, both of these are pretty good. But I think that if I let them charge it alone, they might get killed immediately. Though charging in as an idiot... Well, this is a conundrum. Charging in is usually a really bad idea. We're a good fighter, but that fucking thing is just horrifying. Keeping in the shadows, though, might be a way how to hit it when it hurts. And let's charge in. Let's hope it won't be our last chapter. You spring from your hiding place, sword at the ready, and charge in with the others. The ground is uneven and the night is dark. Only the shouts of your compatriots and the reflected glow of the starry sky give you a faint indication of where you are. Ahead you see Maud, her hatchets flashing as she swings at the Razerclaw and leaps away, hoping to bait the beast into attacking her. From other side, Stephen lunges forward, his spear thrusting forth. The Razerclaw rolls aside. Something must have tipped it off. The beast spins about in a single twirling step. As the creature assails the spearman, it exposes its belly to you. You can't think of a better chance to slay the beast. You rush ahead while the beast is still occupied with the former soldier. Bringing up your sword, you charge forward just as a swipe from the Razerclaw's forelegs snaps Stephen's spear shaft like a dry twig. The Razerclaw readies itself to finish the farmer off when you ram your blade into its unprotected gut. The beast recoils screaming, blood oozing from its wound, as you pull your sword free. Now the creature turns to you. A beast of such size might take hours to die from a gut wound, and until then, it is still more than capable of killing you. Great! However, before the Razerclaw can rush you, another farmer attacks from the side, jabbing the beast's spine covered back with a long-handled pruning hook. Again, the creature turns like a bear being attacked by a pack of dogs, unable to slay one assailant lest the others draw blood. You attack again, planning to end the battle now. You sweat the Razerclaw with the flat of your blade, enough to bring the beast's attention back to you. As you bring back your sword, you grab the hilt right below the crossguard with your offhand. With both hands, you drive your blade into the Razerclaw's head just as it turns to face you. Your sword thrusts right into the beast's mouth. You feel the blade pierce flesh, cartilage, and finally bone. The beast's eyes roll up as a blood fountains from its mouth, splattering your blade, your hands, and your face with red. Then, after a moment, the beast falls limp, its sundered head sliding off the bodied steel of your sword. It takes a few seconds for the farmers to realize what has just happened, but one by one they see the dead form of the vanquished beast and begin to cheer. It is done. Wow.